Welcome live to Grand Rapids, Michigan on an absolutely spectacular spring evening. This is the Pro Volleyball Federation coming your way on the Roku Sports Channel. Busy around the entire PVF tonight with 6 teams in action. And here, it's the 4th and final meeting between the Rise and the Columbus Fury. Columbus currently leading the series 2-1. Now let's take a look at our Wren Athletics starting lineup. Raina Terry out of Illinois. Abby Walker will be in the middle. Isabella Rapash has had a fantastic season so far. This is a passing lineup with Megan Courtney Lush back in the lineup. She missed a month with a very severely sprained ankle. Nutsara Tomcom out of Thailand has just joined the Columbus starting lineup and their roster. Paula Sarami will also be in the starting lineup at the libero position. Now for Grand Rapids, they come in with a record of 7-11. Both teams need to get hot down the stretch. Snyder, Bastianelli, Nia Shimei back healthy, the rookie out of SMU. Cameron Turner is going to get the start at the setting position. And out of Stanford, Elena Ogilvy will be at the libero. Paige Briggs-Romaine starting once again and is very, very solid indeed. We're set to go. Crowd still filing in, and a good crowd coming in to Van Andel Arena. And it will be Cameron Turner, the All-American, Big 12 setter out of the year out of Kansas, back to serve for the first time. Trying to get the ball on Terry, and they do so successfully. And here is Rapach. Going to get a lot of sets out of the back row. Tomcom creates the one-on-one, dug by Ogilvy. On the pipe, Terry unloading with 3-time Olympian, NCAA champion, my partner Holly McPeak. I'm Paul Sunderland. What does the addition of Nutsara Tomcom do for Columbus trying to get really hot down the stretch? It really does a lot, because Nutsara Tomcom is a legend, one of the best setters to ever play this game. She really pushes the pace and can get creative. She loves to run the gap go and really yo-yo the blockers on the other side of the net. I love the gap go, and if you can get them on a yo-yo at the same time, that's good fun. Very good. Tomcom last year was setter of the year in the inaugural season of the Pro Volleyball Federation when she led the Mojo out of San Diego to a really hot stretch down the end of the season and got San Diego into the playoffs. Here is Carly Snyder. Played her college volleyball at Florida, been playing in France for the last 6 or 7 years. 3rd in the league in aces with 19. And there's the quick setting of Tomcom. Just a beautiful setter to watch. You were a setter, not only as an All-American and national champion at UCLA, but also on the beach. What makes her special? Tomcom plays with such joy. She's creative, loves to run the quick sets, and enjoys getting people in those one-on-one situations. Very nice tip by Ali Bastianelli, the veteran out of the University of Illinois and one of the top blockers in the entire PVF. And as a matter of fact, Grand Rapids is the best blocking team in the league, and for a couple of matches they put on an absolutely dominating performance in that particular phase. Terry going high flat. Raina Terry, just a rookie, again out of Illinois. And this passing lineup with Sarami on the floor and then Megan Lush coming back in. What's the thought process behind that with respect to Columbus? First, let me talk about this bump set. Tomcom can keep you in system even with the bump set. She is so good at pushing this offense no matter where she is on the court. Raven Colvin getting the start out of the middle in place of Alyssa Jensen. Raven Colvin out of Purdue, very offensive-minded as well. Magnificent reception. I'm so glad you overruled me and went to the bump set. I like that a lot. That was a very good choice by you. Here is Kaylee Nelson. 6 foot, playing in the opposite position, college volleyball at the University of Washington. And Snyder out of the back row, dug by Sarame, but not on her own side. And Cameron Turner, good read by Lush, but again, too tight to the net. As a defender, and you were one of the best in the game, you won 73 beach tournaments? 72. I thought it was 7. You told me it was 75 over. So what's your, that was a good controlled dig, but what should your target be? Well, you want to pull it a little bit off the net, give your setter room to run the offense, especially Tomcom. She's a little bit smaller, can't really go up and battle up at the net if it's too tight. So far, the strategy and the personnel deployed by Angel Perez in his 2nd year as head coach of Columbus, working very, very well. Sarame with a good first contact and Lush with an equally good first contact. Here is Terry. Nice play by Ogilvy to start the offense. Block touch that time by Lush, and Rapash very good at hitting the fingers of the block. Good save by Nelson. There's the gap and go. Beautiful delivery that time by Tomcom.
Tomcom fed Ramelsberg in that gap, and she's got so much confidence with those middle attackers.
Angel Perez trying to dig his Columbus Fury team out of an 0-7 hole to start the season. They're 5-13, and he thinks the arrival of Nutsara Tomcom can give them at least a chance to get really hot down the stretch. And they have to. There are 10 matches remaining for both of these teams, and they're both looking up at the rest of the standings, neither in the playoff mix right now. Paige Briggs-Romine out of Western Kentucky. Very, very good all-around volleyball player. Lush off speed, dug by Romine. Quick delivery to the outside. Once again, magnificent position and dig by Ogilvy. Rapach showing a lot of range. Isabella Rapach, 6'2", in her 9th pro season, 6th in the league, 3.7 kills per set.
Rapach has been so impressive the way she uses all her tools, carries a big offensive load for Columbus.
Haley Ramelsberg, middle blocker, played in Finland last year and has come on and played very, very nicely in her first season in the PVF. And a very nice read by Cameron Turner, number 22 in blue. And on the other side, Kathy George, familiar to volleyball fans throughout the Big Ten, throughout the Midwest, certainly longtime head coach at Michigan State. Got her team into the championship match last year before falling to Omaha. Here is Raven Colvin back to serve. Tied at 6. We'll have a technical timeout when a team reaches 8 and another when a team reaches 16. Colvin hitting .339 so far on the season. Combination play, but net was wide open. That's a mistake by Lush. 3-woman block over the top. Nice dig by Terry. Rapach again. So good off the top of the block, and she's undersized and opposite. They list her at 6'2". I'm not buying it.
One of the things that makes this kill special is Nutsara Tomcom threatens to run this middle. She gets there, looks like she can run the middle, makes the block for Grand Rapids late, and that gives Rapach more room to operate.
Very nice looking offense run by Turner. Quickly to the outside, the kill by number 4 in blue, Carly Snyder.
And this is something that we're going to see against Nutsara Tomcom. She's 5'7", smallest player who plays at the net. Teams will try and hit over her, as Carly Snyder does there.
Snyder struggled in her last match, was just 6 of 26. That was a loss here in this building, Van Andel in downtown Grand Rapids. Lovely Midwestern town. We've enjoyed it ever since we have been here, and we're going to have a challenge mid-rally called by Angel Perez. You can challenge twice per set if you're correct. Those challenges are protected. The first referee is Barbara Zvanek. You can challenge touch off the block, a net fault, 3 kinds of foot faults, service line, 3-meter line, and center line. You cannot challenge.
Columbus is challenging a net touch
during the course of the rally, and each coach has a pad available to them, and they will touch that. It's a touch pad, and it will be for net touch or touch off the block or foot fault. And in this case, Angel Perez is contending, he's making his case that during the course of that rally there was a net violation against Grand Rapids.
And you only have 8 seconds after a rally to make that challenge. You cannot wait longer than that.
That's a really good point. And I said, well, how do you enforce that? They kill the pads.
They do.
8 seconds after the ball is down, the pad is
so someone with a quick finger has to be manning that iPad.
Well, and also the coaches work with their assistants to watch very, very closely. You'll see it during the Olympics and during the PVF. There's an assistant coach that is just watching, you know, because the margin of victory or the agony of defeat, you know, we've had an awful lot. I mean, you take Columbus, for example, they have lost 7 5-set matches. 7 5-set matches. It's been the story of their season.
Yeah, the difference is so small, and now these teams know each other so well. The scouting report is obvious, so to gain any advantage is the goal.
First meeting, 3-2. That was won by Grand Rapids in Columbus. To that point, 15-12 in the fifth. And there is the net touch. And so good work by the staff on the sideline. And that will break the tie of 7 and get a team to 8. And we will step aside for our first technical timeout here in GR.
Courtesy of Marge's Donut Den. Thank you, Marge's, for all of your cake and donut needs. Make sure you hit up Marge's Donut Den. Remember, let's go Rise! I took the test. I am Ravenclaw. Confirmed.
I've taken the test. I got Hufflepuff. I thought I'd be a Gryffindor, but...
Pro Volleyball Federation coming your way on the Roku Sports Channel. Ollie McPeak with Paul Sunderland. That's what this afternoon looked like here in Grand Rapids. A beautiful river adjacent to downtown. Let's take a look at the current Pro Volleyball Federation standings. Omaha still on top in spite of their recent loss at home to Indy. Orlando is there as well, but they've lost 3 out of 4 after having won 8 out of 9. And the hottest team in the league are the Atlanta Vibe. They're 12-8 after they're right now running a 6-match winning streak, and they're trying to make that to 7 tonight. Indy has hung in. Good for them after they lost Leketer member Mena to a season-ending ankle injury.
We talked about prior to this match, Columbus and Grand Rapids need to go on a win streak. This is a must-win match for both teams.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right, Holly McPeak. Pretty good rhythm to both offenses, dug by Lush. Megan Courtney, multiple national championship winner for Russ Rose at Penn State University, and a very distinguished international career. A wonderful all-around player, and it really, really hurt Columbus when she missed a handful of matches, missed 4 matches, and the All-Star match with a very badly sprained ankle. She calls that in, and Carly Snyder now with her 20th ace. Natalie Foster still leading the way, followed by Leah Edmond. And that ball right on the end line. Once again, Bolt 6 will call all the in and out. Sarame, pretty good pass off a tough serve. And Raina Terry off the inside hand of Bastianelli for the kill.
The hitters for Columbus adjusting to the faster pace set of Nutsara Tomcom, but it will also give them room to swing through seams and around blocks because of the pace of the set.
Down the line, nice turn by Paige Briggs-Romine, second year in the Pro Volleyball Federation, last year also in Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids likes that matchup, attacking Tomcom. Angel Perez talked about possibly having the other 2 players in the front row block and pulling Tomcom off the net. Let's see if they do that.
Really good reminder, and we'll see how that develops. Ali Bastianelli, one of the top blockers in the league, 1.3 blocks per set. That is a really big number for number 10 in blue, headed to the sideline now to visit with her head coach, Kathy George. So here is Nutsara Tomcom, now 39 years of age. Came over to join the PVF for her 2nd season after finishing her year in Thailand, one of the very, very best. You said it right, Holly. Obviously, she's towards the end of her career. Now she's more of a mentor and a leader on this team, and bringing along other setters in her native Thailand, as well as in professional volleyball in the United States. Really good serve, nicely done by Kaylee Nelson. That's the 2nd ace so far of the set for Grand Rapids.
That ball caught the top of the net and just tied up Ramelsburg for Columbus.
Not ideal to have one of your middle blockers having to touch the ball there and serve receive, but sometimes you have to. That ball missed out of bounds by Terry after a perfect first contact from Paula Sarame.
Columbus Fury knew they wanted to get the ball in Tomcom's hands and let her run the offense, so passing is the #1 focus.
We talked about all those 5-set matches that Columbus has had to endure, very competitive around the league. Every time these two teams have gotten together, it's gone 5 sets. First it was Grand Rapids, and then Columbus has won the last 2. Nice reach by Rapash, and able to stuff that ball down with some help out of the middle from Kaylee Ramelsburg. Rewatch wearing number 2 in red. Terry at 6'3", again the rookie out of Illinois. She was their number 1 pick. Pretty good serve that time if you don't get Ogilvy in system, and Briggs Romine will tap that ball somehow down through the block.
Columbus wants that back late with their press. Rewatch and Ramelsburg for Columbus Fury, and that sneaks on their side of the net.
Paige Briggs Romine to serve.
Working on Sarame, and it's not necessarily working, although some help. That ball missed out of bounds by Megan Lush, and Raina Terry had missed one previously, so some hitting errors starting to sneak into the column statistically of Columbus.
Megan Courtney Lush points to her setter and says, hey, my fault, and they're adjusting to the pace of that set to the pin.
When you watch the top setters in the world, and many of them are playing in the Pro Volleyball Federation, and we've had the opportunity to see an awful lot of international volleyball, the ball just comes out differently. It just comes out so perfectly out of Tomcom's hands. Nice pass by Ogilvy. And Cameron Turner.
Third kill for her. She is so offensive-minded. She's undersized, but she's quick and decides when to call her own number at the right time.
And her number is number 22, and the right number is the 16-13 or 16-12 advantage now for Grand Rapids over Columbus at home. Coming out of the second technical timeout here in Grand Rapids, it is the Rise on top of Columbus, the 4th and final meeting against Columbus, 16-12 at the break. Back with Holly McPeak. I'm Paul Sunderland. Thanks so much for joining us. Columbus put their ball control lineup on the floor. It's worked well in receive, but just too many errors, especially in the attack phase so far.
I think it's the adjustment to the fast pace of the Tomcom offense. I think they're going to find more opportunities to score. It's just going to take a little time.
They've played 3 times. Each and every night it's gone to 5 sets, and expect nothing less. But Columbus got to eliminate some of those zeros or some of those errors out of bounds, as Raven Colvin will go back to serve once again. 16-12 is the advantage. Pretty tough serve. Well, ball control indeed, but that was just a rocket of a serve by number 7, Raven Colvin.
I love when a middle blocker gets back at that back line and puts some pop on her serve. Got to take pride in that back row rotation when you get to play.
Well, a lot of these collegiate middle blockers have not played a lot in the service phase or defensively. Different rules. College volleyball on the women's side allows 15 subs, and the middle blocker does not have to serve. Internationally, it's 6 substitutions. In the Pro Volleyball Federation, it's 8. There is Rewatch. Been really good the last handful of matches. Both of these coming off of losses in Bastianelli. That time off of Lush and out of bounds.
Cameron Turner pushing that quick set behind to Bastianelli. Even though she was at the 3-meter line, that connection is really nice because they played a lot together. Lots of double subbing throughout the season by Grand Rapids.
Turner getting the start in the place of August Rasky, so a little bit under the weather. Perfect dig. Nice ball control, looking for the assist, and Carly Snyder into the cross court and missed that over the sideline.
Put your hands together.
8-7 at the first technical timeout. Grand Rapids extended their lead, however, to 16-12 at the second. Angel Perez, very, very successful seasons. Twice he was Coach of the Year in the Puerto Rican League. Oh, good swing by Snyder, but again, just over the end line. So now the hitting errors are changing sides.
Columbus has not moved Tomcom out of the block, but they are talking about it at the net. That's just an unforced error by Grand Rapids.
She's next to Abby Walker. Abby Walker, number 24. A lot of people talk about how very, very quick she is, so she should really flourish with Tomcom in the lineup. Abby Walker out of the University of Cincinnati. Here's Snyder again. Lush just gobbled that up. Beautiful combination play. Rewatch on the pipe.
Nutsar Tomcom has such a nice feel with how she leads her back row player. Really nice rhythm and location to the set. Starts with a perfect pass by Lush and then just one up in front.
Walker back to serve, and Bastianelli smartly over the top. Bastianelli, 18 in blue, has scored twice off speed out of the middle. Sixth year in the professional ranks, 6'3" middle blocker, second season in the Pro Volleyball Federation, 19 matches last year in San Diego. Oh, that is such a good delivery. Really, really good to number 18, Ramelsberg.
It's like watching a great quarterback, right? Nutsar Tomcom running the offense quick, location, gives it enough lift and push to feed Rewatch on that slide.
And if Columbus is in system and you have to deal with her creativity and ability, beautiful block by Terry on the outside against Nelson, the Tomcom can really give some hitters a big advantage.
Raina Terry, 6'3" on that left pin. Look at her get up and over. Nice left-hand turn back into the court to get that stuff block.
One block apiece now for both Grand Rapids and Columbus. Fourth and final meeting. Good turn down the line by Briggs Romine. Remember when we had Paige Briggs Romine early in the year, the jersey manufacturer, at least the printer, had it Romaine, like the lettuce, but they have since corrected it. Very smart shot by Rewatch.
Raven Colvin a little bit late defensively with her hands for Grand Rapids, and with Rewatch attacking, you've got to be quick over the net to stop it.
Both teams spending a lot of time communicating. Rewatch with her new setter. Tomcom only came to the United States 5 days ago, so she didn't even know what time zone she's in yet. Good play by Rewatch to get some air underneath that ball. And strong swing. Megan Courtney Lush. Well, we're going to have a challenge. I thought I saw a touch there. That was really, really a high-quality swing. So we will have our second challenge.
Columbus is challenging a block touch.
Angel Perez used his challenge very effectively earlier on in this opening set. One of his spies detected a net violation. He was indeed correct, and I think that Lush got a very solid piece of the top of the block. Good to see Megan Courtney Lush, 9 years as a professional. Daughter Nora is the apple of her eye.
Angel Perez talked about how much he enjoys this young team. He thinks their upside is incredible, and with Nutsar Tomcom leading them with her experience and the way she runs that offense, he thinks that 8 of 10 is the goal.
Boy, that's tough.
It's going to be tough, but important to have a goal.
No question. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And maybe they're going to be a lot of moving parts. Yeah, there it is, right off the hand.
That long middle finger of Turner.
Cameron Turner. That's just a world-class swing right there by a very experienced outside attacker. And 2 challenges and both successful for Columbus. Terry continues to serve. Well, that ball drifted off the net a little bit. Oh, that ball should be covered. I thought pretty good swing by Briggs Romine, but now the Columbus block doing some work.
Hitter coverage is so important. You cannot relax. At this level, balls are going to get blocked, but you can recycle and pick them back up.
3-0 run now for Raina Terry and Columbus. Pretty good pass by Ogilvy outside to Colvin. Another chance coming the way. Rewatch right side. Going high flat again. You see the really experienced international players. Lush in her 10th year. Rewatch in her 9th year. They know how to work the top of the block.
And it's such an important tool for any player out here. But yes, the pace and the flat swing clears the defense. And
very nicely done by Paula Sarame, diving in to create an opportunity. That's a 4-0 run for Columbus as they recapture the lead, 22-21. Grand Rapids led it 16-12 at the technical timeout. So this is a very, very nice run indeed for the visitors. You know, we talked about needing to win 8 out of 10. Maybe 7 out of 10 is doable, but there's been a lot of streaks. Atlanta is on a streak right now. Omaha went on a streak where they won 5 in a row and 8 out of 9. Orlando went on another run when they set a league record and won 9 in a row. But sometimes the schedule catches up with you, and you know, in talking to Angel Perez, he's very fortunate. I mean, because they had to play Omaha and Orlando a lot early on. He doesn't see them very much, whereas Grand Rapids, their schedule, when you look at it in terms of opponent winning percentage, is going to be a lot tougher for Grand Rapids. They're at 7-11 and knocking on the door. There is the upcoming schedule for the teams that are quote-unquote on the bubble. India's done a wonderful job. We have Vegas in Las Vegas on Sunday against San Diego. That feels like a must-win for the Thrill. They lost 7 matches in a row. They put an end to that, and Grand Rapids right there as well.
Well, Grand Rapids has to play Omaha 3 times, Orlando 2 times, Indy twice, and Atlanta and Vegas once each.
Really tough. Really, really tough. There is Terry once again looking to continue this 4-0 run. Working on Ogilvy. Oh. Sarame, perfect dig to the 3-meter line. Rewatch again. Tom finding a hot hitter.
Rewatch has been hot no matter who's setting the ball, but Tom giving her plenty of good looks on that right pin. Transition ball, Tom gets her feet there, so smart and good at getting the ball to a nice location behind her.
Rewatch has taken 9 swings. She's killed 6 balls with no errors. As a team, how good is Nutsara Tom? I'll give you what they hit on the season. They're hitting 400 so far in this opening set. Briggs-Romine. Columbus 2 points away. Very hittable bump set to your point earlier, and a very blockable ball. What a cover. Colvin was all over that. Tom goes once again to Rewatch, and that ball is dug very close to the sideline. Rewatch is out of the play. Ooh, that ball might have been going out of bounds. Briggs-Romine tried to make the dig, and now it's going to be set points coming the way of the Fury.
I love that swing by Megan Courtney Lush. Way inside in transition. She doesn't ease up, gets her feet to the ball. Big, aggressive swing to get 24.
Kaylee Cox, 6'3" rookie out of Western Kentucky, is coming on to add some blocking size up front. Some instructions from the sideline from Coach Perez to Abby Walker out of the middle. 2 hitters, at least in the front court right now for Grand Rapids. Good pass by Ogilvy. Blocking sub worked pretty well. Rewatch, one-on-one. What a stab by Carly Snyder. Back to Rewatch. Second time around, 7 kills on 11 swings.
The Columbus offense was blistering in the first set, getting used to their new setter, Nutsara Tom coming up with the first set victory.
Well, Columbus needs to get hot, and down the stretch of that opening set, they did exactly that, trailed 16-12, and they close it out 25-22. Our first set stats are brought to you by FICO. Columbus, the visiting Fury. Take it, Holly McPeak, 25-22.
Hitting efficiency, we talked about it for Columbus. Those are really good numbers. Anytime your team's hitting 400 and then 3 blocks. So Columbus has tons of good energy, and Grand Rapids needs to be a little cleaner.
Pro Volleyball Federation is proud to partner with FICO to champion financial literacy. PVF athletes will engage with the league and its communities to provide financial education. And back to Nutsara Tom in the United States for 5 days. She played in the double sub in a match earlier for Columbus, but I look at her, and it's not only about the beauty with which the ball, but the decision-making, the choices she's making vis-a-vis Rewatch, Lush, Raina Terry.
Agreed. Nutsara Tom really stresses the defense on the other side of the net, which allows hitters to have gaps and seams to work against on the block, and the way she feeds her hitters has been so impressive, and it's only going to get better as they play together. This is her first start for Columbus, and they come out with a 400 in the first set. That's pretty special. And
Atlanta's the hottest team in the league right now, having won 6 in a row. They're going for number 7 tonight. But in the loss to Atlanta, Columbus only hit 120, so that's already a big difference. Raina Terry doing a nice job out in the left front.
As a left-sider, we talk about all your responsibilities, passing, defense, setting, being a blocker. Sometimes you're on an island by yourself, but Raina Terry, she owns it. Beautiful solo block on the left side, shutting down the middle attack from Grand Rapids.
That was Ali Bastianelli, who'd had a couple of off-speed kills. Here is Tom back at the line, working the short serve. And again, good move by Terry. Just underway here in the second set. Grand Rapids We'll give you the scenario. Nice dig by Sarame. Really good left-handed stab. And right back at you by Ogilvy. Liberos battling. Right now, the block for Columbus is looking very, very strong. Rewatch. Yeah, and she will just continue to detonate off hands.
Columbus is doing a lot of things well. We're seeing a bunch of triple blocking, but here it starts with Paula Sarame getting under this ball to keep it alive, and then another feed to Rewatch on that right pin.
One of the stories affecting Grand Rapids as they come in at 7-11. Nice kill by Ramelsburg out of the middle. They're missing a couple of key performers. Erica Pritchard suffered a concussion. She's out tonight and probably out on Sunday. And for a while, she was looking like an all-star. So that's a big loss, particularly at this stage of the season. Valeria Leon, the backup libero, is also unavailable with a back issue. Perfect pass. Nice dig and read by Lush. Raina Terry did not have that roll shot at the beginning of her rookie season.
I think being a professional, you're forced to find those kind of shots because you're hitting against a big block night after night.
Raina Terry now with 5 kills on 8 swings. Tomcom will continue this very good start for Columbus. Boy, do they need wins. Started 0-7, and right now, Grand Rapids in some reception problems.
Passing so important. You want to get your offense going. Right now, Grand Rapids in a rotation with Cameron Turner in the front row. Only 2-hitter option. They need to pass the ball.
Early timeout called by Grand Rapids, and after taking the opening set 25-22, the Columbus Fury at only 5-13 currently at the bottom of the table of the 8 teams in the PVF, out to a very, very quick start, 5-0. Couple of very interesting conversations at Serve and Pass this morning at Van Andel Arena with Kathy George in her 2nd season. Got to the finals last year, and Angel Perez, and talking about the affection that he has for this team. And they've really done a good job of staying together. They lost Megan Courtney Lush to that ankle injury. That was certainly a blow to them, and they had to hang in there, Holly. You won so much you didn't know what it was like to be 0-7. I did. I knew what it was like to be 0-7.
Yeah, no, it's hard staying together as a team, and relatively young team. And Rewatch, who's become the go-to hitter for Columbus, wasn't healthy at the beginning, so it took a while to get things going for Columbus, but they all bought in and starting to play some really nice volleyball.
Omaha at 12-5, Orlando 12-7, Atlanta looking for their 7th straight win. Sarame again playing really solid. Good rhythm to that. Raina Terry, among others, are really enjoying. Nutsara Tomcom, number 15 in red, who continues to serve.
Raina Terry, little gap and go. She had some seam to work with, but turns it down the line over Turner.
Kaylee Nelson finally gets Grand Rapids on the board here in this 2nd set. First won by Columbus. They made a very, very nice run, finishing that set strongly. Remember, they trailed 16-12 and won it 25-22.
Grand Rapids is the best blocking team in the PVF and have 0 blocks.
Terry again, looking high hands. Dug by Cameron Turner, once again in the lineup in place of August Rasky, who's a little under the weather. She warmed up and is available. Maybe we'll see her in the double sub. What a good swing. Classy, classy swing that time by Kaylee Nelson.
That was Carly Snyder, I believe,
Excuse me.
on the left pin.
Thank you.
She had to work hard for that one, finally going deep to the corner.
Every once in a while, the referee stand does get me.
It does.
Smart shot by Rewatch, getting her team ahead in the point. Just like the rhythm of that. What is the little bit of, it seems there's a little bit of a, not a hitch, that's almost sounds like a criticism.
Almost a hitch.
Yeah.
It's like a delay in the release the ball out of Tomcom's hands, and it really holds the middle blocker, which creates opportunities to work through the block for Columbus.
Raina Terry hitting .500 right now, 7 kills on 12 swings, and that's another nice swing by Carly Snyder.
Carly Snyder, so good at hitting that deep corner, doesn't try and go sharp where the defense is, just away from the defender in the left back.
Is she getting too many swings? That's 22 swings already, and look at it, 7-3 in the second.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. Oh, that's a good swing up into the block. Sarame with a good effort, but a lucky, I would call that a lucky block by the league's best so far in that phase.
Hardly lucky. Ali Bastianelli, one of the best. Look at her work to get outside, press her hands back into the court. Really nice stop for Grand Rapids.
Partner, I meant with respect to where the block went.
Oh, okay. Well, again.
Good, yeah, good call, good call. Rewatch getting a lot of action. Chased down by Snyder. Chance for Grand Rapids. Briggs Romine going high flat. Lush off speed. What a save that time. Flying in was Cameron Turner, but Grand Rapids just could not follow up.
Megan Courtney Lush placed that ball right over the block, and I love that defensive effort by Grand Rapids, but not enough.
Technical timeout. We will step aside here in the GR.
All right, fans, you ready to get loud? We're going to be launching a Rise Volleyball from our ball launcher courtesy of SNA Sports. Let's get loud!
The playoff picture around the Pro Volleyball Federation rapidly taking shape. And these two teams right now on the outside looking in. Grand Rapids at 7-11, Columbus at 5-13. Back with Holly McPeak, I'm Paul Sunderland. Very impressive close to the opening set by Columbus, 25-22, and an even more impressive start with Nutsara Tomcom starting things off at the service line in rotation 1. That's when the setter is in the back right, and got them out to the quick 5-0 lead, forced a timeout for Grand Rapids. There is Ramelsburg. Played at Indiana, first year in the Pro Volleyball Federation. Tough serve. Two's better than one, but that ball should have been kept on the side. That should have been another chance. And Bastianelli, middle blocker, tipping in front of another middle blocker.
Ramelsburg and Courtney Lush in the same location on that first dig, and it pops over. Those middle blockers want to play D2.
Ali Bastianelli, one of the best in the business in the blocking phase. No question about that. Columbus leading in digs with 22 to Grand Rapids 18 right now. After the first technical timeout of the second set. Quickly to the perimeter and off the edge of the block. That was through Abby Walker and down for Briggs Romine. What makes her a special volleyball player in this league?
Paige Briggs Romine does it all. She's like the glue on a team because she passes well, plays fantastic defense, takes those hard swings. And she did not start the first part of the season, and then the last 8 matches for Grand Rapids has proved too valuable to have on the bench.
Yeah, when Megan Courtney Lush went out with that sprained ankle, it was Briggs Romine that came in, and now she can't get off the floor. Pia Timmer, the same for Atlanta, all-around player. Courtney Schwann, the same for Orlando. Really good start for Posh. That serve is too easy. One-on-one. What a stab by Sarame. She's done it with the left hand and now the right. Good enough bump set, looking high hands. Snyder out of the back row, covers herself. What a good reaction. A little miscommunication, free ball here for Grand Rapids, and it won't even be that. That is a break for the Rise. Grand Rapids Rise. Again, it's 7-11. Just on the outside of the playoff picture. And once again, what a good job by the Indy Ignite. In the playoffs right now, in spite of the fact of losing one of the top 5 players in the league in Member Mena.
Sydney Hilly, the Pro Volleyball Federation Player of the Week, is doing a fantastic job with a very young, talented team. And then Ajani Teeler on the right has been unbelievable.
Ajani Teeler was Player of the Week last week.
Yes,
so
she was. Indy's hogging the spotlight.
Yeah, they are. Oh, nicely done. Good quick play. And when you say quick, that's talking about Abby Walker. Really, really fast off the floor and laterally.
And that's one of the benefits of having TomCom. She's very comfortable pushing that pace to Abby Walker. That's her advantage at the net as a middle blocker.
We'll see what they do blocking with TomCom. Go away from her. Nice play again by Sarame. Raina Terry again. What a job she's doing.
Left side blocking is so impressive. Her eye work, the way she's getting over the net, she's been really disciplined with her hands. I mean, she's getting all of that ball. You don't want to run a slide in her direction.
Got Bastianelli early, got a block touch coming right after that, and then got most of the stuff. Nice play by Walker. Sarame has been really good early on in this match. Raina Terry missed it out of bounds. Wow. Terry thought she had it.
Wow, only one block in front of Terry, and she tries to annihilate it in the sharp angle, just misses wide.
That's Bolt 6 once again, giving you the quick call. Cannot challenge in or out. It's all done electronically. Quickly on Raina Terry, had a wonderful career at the University of Illinois. It's a very impressive tattoo. The circles on the other arm are not part of a tattoo. That's cupping. That's a therapeutic. Well, if you got you've got a sore right shoulder at this time of year. Quickly to the outside, and Carly Snyder got a piece of it. Piece meaning the end line.
Grand Rapid Rise like that lineup. Carly Snyder going at TomCom. Again, Columbus Fury has not made an adjustment defensively. Takes a little practice to get that rhythm right defensively, pulling TomCom out of the blocking lineup.
I agree. That's a very, very difficult thing to do. And practice time is of a real premium at this stage of the season with 10 matches left for almost all of the teams around the Pro Volleyball Federation.
Grand Rapids Rise serving the ball tough, getting Columbus out of system that hasn't been easy to do thus far.
Columbus on top still 12-10. Fourth and final meeting between these two. Ramelsberg nicely done on the slide.
I think the middles for Columbus are having fun.
Oh, no
They're
question
getting more
about it.
involved. They're ready for the ball. And when you can get the ball at any point, it's a lot more fun. You got to expect it, be ready. And that puts way more pressure on the other side of the net.
And the job that Sarame and Lush are doing in reception right now has been really impressive. Good decision by Angel Perez. Ogilvy saying, wait a minute, I can pass dimes as well. Turner. Is that her fourth kill?
It is.
Cameron Turner.
Very offensive-minded setter. Sarame picked up a tough one just a couple plays ago, but 4 kills for Cameron Turner already.
That's a huge number, and really getting her team out of difficulty. She can only attack, well, of course, when she's in the front court, when there are only 2 other hitters. Rapach again, covered by Sarame. And a rare stoppage of Rapach by Grand Rapids.
Carly Snyder and Ali Bastianelli of the Grand Rapids Rise do a really nice job. I think they know the ball's going to Rapach on that right side, and Carly Snyder sets it up. Bastianelli with the close.
Grand Rapids, you mentioned it, Holly, #1 in the league in blocks per set. That's missed once again by Raina Terry. And she goes, OMG, can't do that.
Raina Terry knows exactly the spot that she wants, and she's just not getting her hand on top of the ball to drive it down enough.
Grand Rapids averages 3.1 blocks per set, led by Bastianelli's 1.3 blocks per set. Terry's taking some good swings. She's got to find the court. And it'll be out of bounds. A near collision between Sarame and TomCom.
New players on the floor, and that's what happens sometimes, just getting used to playing next to each other defensively.
Well handled by Sarame. That was a good serve. Grand Rapids has done a much better job on Rapach here in the second set. Nice play by Snyder. Snyder again, looking hands. 3 blockers up. Rewatch. And off the block. And out of bounds. Another good high swing. But Rewatch landed a little awkwardly. She needs a second. Telling her teammates that she's okay. They can't afford to lose anybody. We mentioned that Grand Rapids was playing shorthanded with Erica Pritchard out. And I'm sure, I shouldn't speculate about it, but just looking at the calendar and what Erica told me before the match, she also will be unavailable on Sunday. Each team in the Pro Volleyball Federation plays a regular season of 28 matches, and the top 4 make the playoffs, semifinals, and finals for $1 million. There is Erica Pritchard, and next to her is Valeria Leon, out with a back issue. Pritchard was playing very, very well. Almost 3 kills per set, and they're going to miss that. Hopefully back in the lineup after the concussion protocol. Oh, what a good block. Bastianelli with a very, very good read.
Thank God for that defensive stop for Grand Rapids, because the transition set to Nelson on the right pin is too tight. Tough to score those points when you're setting the ball too tight in transition.
You weren't going to slow down Grand Rapids block forever, and now Ali Bastianelli is showing you why. They're the best in the league at stuffing the ball. Welcome back once again to Grand Rapids, Michigan. This is Pro Volleyball Federation coming your way on the Roku Sports Channel. Very busy night around the PVF. 6 of the 8 teams are playing tonight. Columbus and Grand Rapids. This is the 4th and final meeting. Columbus 25-22. And good response, particularly in the block phase, 16-14 for Grand Rapids. 3 previous matches, Holly, all went 5 sets. And 2 of them went deuce in the 5th.
These teams know each other extremely well. And now with the addition of Tomcom, Columbus feeling very confident, offensively especially.
Both teams coming off of losses. Columbus to Atlanta, right now the hottest team in the league, looking for their 7th win in a row tonight. And Grand Rapids was losing at home to Las Vegas. Much needed win for Vegas, 3-1. That ball is in, another ace for Snyder.
Harley Snyder is so good at hitting that ball deep into the court. Teams let it drop, and it regularly hits the, wow, that was the back part of the line.
3rd in the league in aces. Ooh, that hasn't happened in a decade. A double contact against Tomcom.
Yeah, not sure if the ball was sweaty or what.
It must have been something weird.
Next play.
Timeout is called. Grand Rapids with a good response, leading 18-14 here in the 2nd.
We're making a wizard-themed candy salad.
Sydney Hilly, you mentioned it previously, national champion out of the University of Wisconsin, led Omaha to the first ever PVF championship, and she is now reigning the current player of the week after leading the Indy Ignite to a 3-0 win at Omaha in front of 13,000.
All season long, we've been talking about the job Sydney Hilly's done. She's surrounded by some young, talented players. She is doing a fantastic job, not only leading, but running the offense, making good decisions, and she and Ajani Teeler, that combination on the right side, have been fantastic.
Yeah, really impressed with the job that Indy has done. Again, if you haven't been following our coverage, shame on you, but secondarily, member Lekator Mene suffered an ankle injury, had to miss the All-Star game in Indianapolis in her home court, and then suffered a subsequent much more serious ankle injury. There you see the league leaders in the assists category.
Shampoo for Orlando has had a fantastic season.
Also out of Thailand. That ball away from Turner and down by Lush. Ramelsburg will go back to serve. It was 8-4 Columbus at the technical timeout, and since that time, kind of similarly to the opening set, Holly, it has been all the opponent. Briggs Romine Ramelsberg was there, but that was really good heat from a talented all-around player.
Ramelsberg for Columbus Fury in a perfect location, but you got to use your platform to absorb that heat from Grand Rapids.
Once again, a work in progress for these young middle blockers, getting schooled a little bit at the defensive end. Alyssa Jensen had just come on, and that ball called out of bounds. Jensen was cheerleading for that to be another ace. And how we have the double sub coming on. Morgan Lewis along with Wilma Rivera. Rapach will go to the sideline along with Tomcom. Double sub has become very, very popular around the Pro Volleyball Federation.
When you've got a talented bench and players who can come in and score points for you, Morgan Lewis at 6'3" is a huge block on the right side, and Columbus needs some stops.
In college volleyball, you see it over and over and over again because of the 15 subs. Wilma Rivera has a good serve. That was one she'd like to have back. But in the PVF with only 8 subs, you're only going to double once per set. Wilma Rivera now in her 8th year as a professional, played in Orlando last year. Very good setter. Lush took a big whack at it. And Nelson off the edge. Sarame led into area 5-6, and it was off the edge and out of bounds.
Grand Rapids Rise doing a much better job on their first contact, allowing Cameron Turner to run different options offensively.
No exaggeration, and you set it up perfectly, Holly. This is a must-win for both of these teams with what's remaining schedule-wise. You know, both of them not in the playoff picture right now, so the winner of this has made up a little bit of ground. Morgan Lewis, one of a plethora of Oregon Ducks in the Pro Volleyball Federation. Oh, swing deep into the cross court. And that ball called just out of bounds, but we've got a challenge. We're going to have a challenge by Columbus, and they have been 2 for 2 so far.
Columbus is challenging a block touch.
After the double sub, Morgan Lewis had to hit 3 balls cold off the bench, all out of system plays, which is a tough ask of anybody.
It is. Morgan Lewis, 6'3" opposite, played for San Diego last year, had an All-American career, once again at the University of Oregon. 4th and final meeting. Each of the teams around the PVF, I mentioned it, played 28 matches in the regular season, so 10 to go for each of these 2 teams. Looking for block touch. This off of Jensen. Yeah, I think a pinky touch. Yep, there you go. Good swing by Lewis.
The interesting thing about it, Morgan Lewis wasn't confident about it, but Abby Walker turned and said, I heard the touch. So it takes a village.
So 3 for 3. Good work by Angel Perez. And more importantly, the lead remains at just 4 for Grand Rapids as they try to even this match at a set apiece. Once again, Terry doing a really good job blocking in the left front, and that ball out of bounds. So here comes Columbus taking advantage of some miscues by Grand Rapids. Kathy George got to be thinking about it if Lush is able to get one more. Working on Snyder. Out of system swing. Pretty good transition set. Raina Terry doing a really good job of dealing with that. What a block. Abby Walker quick off the floor.
Looked like Jensen for Grand Rapids had an open net kill, but watch the work by Abby Walker to get up defensively in front of Jensen.
Walker, number 24 out of Cincinnati. We talked about the unfortunate injury, season-ending injury to Lecator member Menesh. He was certainly in the MVP conversation there. And here are some others that certainly have carved out, and deservedly so, that part of the conversation.
Brooke Nuneviller always has a full stat sheet.
Yep.
In what she brings to her team is the leadership, never takes a play off. fantastic energy. Ajani Taylor, we talked about her for the India Ignite team. She has been fantastic. Brittany Abercrombie has carried a gigantic load for Orlando, has been putting up fantastic numbers all season long. Leah Edmond had a little bit of a slow start, but has really turned it on lately for Atlanta.
Yeah, second in the league right now in aces to Natalie Foster, who's running away with that. Both of them have broken last year's record. And back to Brooke Nuneviller, one of the things, a lot of things impress me about Nuneviller's game, but she's in the top 5 in digs. Every other player in the top 10 is a libero. Very, very impressive at the
Nuneviller's special.
She plays some defense.
I saw a picture of her in her second step of her approach on social media, and it was just textbook.
What's social media?
Social media,
it's a thing.
Yeah,
okay.
it's a thing.
It's a thing. Okay.
I'll have to show you after the game.
Okay.
But
all right.
a lot of ways to watch your favorite player.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am just kidding. 21-20. Pressure now on Grand. Oh, what a block. Morgan Lewis, the double sub, is doing work. Five-point run. Ace serve. The old "you take it, I've got it," and the ball went right in between Ogilvy and Carly Snyder.
So important to communicate, especially during this crunch time at the end of a set for Grand Rapids.
Oh, there was a chance. Sarame and almost another near collision. Boy, the players are getting after it. Megan Courtney Lush along with Paula Sarame, the libero. Ball was right in between them. Tied at 22. Boy, Grand Rapids at home, lost 3 in a row. They had as much as a 5-point lead here in the second. Terry out of system, about 7 feet off the net. Ooh, double contact is called. What do you think, Holly?
Wow. I did not think that was a bad set.
It wasn't perfect, but I agree with you.
Was it on setter?
Yes. Wow, that is a really, really big call. 23-22 on the double contact. They've changed the rules vis-a-vis double contact in collegiate volleyball. There's still double contact internationally and in the PVF. But the call has been made. You got to live with it.
Yes,
but
that's not something that can be challenged.
No, it cannot be challenged. It's a judgment call. Now we'll see how Columbus responds after they won on a 5-0 run to get right back in the second set. High school and club being told that going to no doubles next year. The officials do a wonderful job.
Yes.
You know, we're just offering our opinion about the interpretation on that call.
Yeah.
But the fewer whistles, the better. Friday night here in Grand Rapids. Spring has sprung after a cold, rainy morning. We survived that, thank goodness. Holly, of course, ever prepared, had this magnificent raincoat. I had nothing.
I like to be prepared wherever I go.
No kidding, no kidding. You take care of the coffee place and the lunch place, and I just follow along.
Can Grand Rapids get a stop right now?
23-22. Working on Terry, good reception. Block touch by Jensen. Coming to Snyder quickly to the outside. Off the top of the block and down. And a little hesitation there in the backcourt. It was a good shot. I'm not sure anybody was getting that.
Transition ball. Carly Snyder has been doing a lot of work on that left pin. Flat off the block.
28 swing already for Snyder. And Morgan Lewis, the double sub, has really, really worked well for Columbus.
Morgan Lewis has a big arm, played for San Diego last year. We know that she can put up a big block as well on that right side.
Set point number 2. Quickly to the outside, deflected. Carly Snyder again having an awfully busy night. 28 swings through 2 sets, and she gets to her 9th kill for set point. So we're tied at 1 set apiece, and certainly no surprise, the 4th and final meeting between Grand Rapids, the Rise, and the Fury of Columbus. Each and every preceding 3 match of the 3 matches has gone the distance to 5 sets. They take it 25-23 after Columbus came back to take the opening set 25-22. Let's go over to Holly McPeak.
Carly, you guys had a tough set. They were hitting 400. How did you weather the storm?
Yeah, we just knew that we were getting some good touches with our block, and our 6 was a bit shallow, so we weren't able to run it down. It's such a confidence builder for your block to be able to go after it and to know your defense is behind you. So we just got a bit better at that, and yeah, it worked.
What was the difference in the second set?
Yeah, I think we just kept confidence because we started down 0-5, and you know, we realized like, oh, we're only down 2, you know, we're in this game. And so I just think we all just didn't look at the scoreboard and kept playing.
How do you finish with the win?
Play hard, play aggressive.
All right.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Holly. Thank you, Carly Snyder. 9 kills already with 10 digs and doing a wonderful job in reception as well. Grand Rapids and Columbus tied here in the GR at 1 set apiece. Through 2 sets, Holly McPeak, we're tied at 1 set apiece. Very, very close, but I'll tell you, Grand Rapids needed the set win, and they slowed down the Columbus offense.
They were able to obviously hit 400 in the first set. Columbus, their numbers have come down. Grand Rapids got some more stops and were able to execute at the end of that second set to win.
And the serve-receive lineup that is out on the floor right now for Columbus, deployed by Angel Perez, has been good since the beginning. And Raina Terry taking some big swings, just need to find the court. She's taking really good swings, just missed a couple.
Raina Terry, the rookie, 7 kills, 3 blocks. Been really impressed with her on both sides of the ball.
You see Rewatch here warming up that ankle. She went down awkwardly late in the later stages of that second set. We'll have to keep an eye on that. She is absolutely critical to what Columbus wants to do. And if you look in the series of matches, Columbus has won the last 2 after dropping the first. She had 23 kills in the second. And each and every one of the matchups, again, I'm repeating this, each and every time Fury and the Rise have gotten together, it's gone 5 sets. Right on cue, Terry, did she get a piece of the block? She did not. Missed it out of bounds. Alyssa Jensen has stayed on in the middle now for Grand Rapids, replacing Raven Colvin. Right side to Rewatch. Nice dig by Ogilvy. Right side, Nelson. Dug nicely. Megan Courtney Lush is really a good defender. Reads the game exceptionally well. Right side to Nelson again. Remmelsberg along with Terry. 3-woman block here and off the edge. Dug by Tomcom. That is such a good swing on a tight set. Really, really nicely done.
Rewatch does a really nice job. Body control, getting her feet there and finding a way around that Grand Rapids block.
Did something you don't see very often, Holly. Watch after she hits this ball. Actually goes down to the floor after it's set really tight, kind of to protect herself. And down she goes. Terry back to serve. Once again, Rewatch leading the way offensively. She's in double figures now with 12 kills on 25 swings. Nice play by Jensen. Very familiar to Michigander volleyball fans. Played her collegiate career for Kathy George at Michigan State.
Alyssa Jensen is long and known for her fantastic blocking, but has a nice high contact point out of the middle for Grand Rapids.
Averages a block per set. Carly Snyder's been very, very effective from the service line. Good block touch out of the middle by the aforementioned Jensen. Rewatch again. Dug by Turner, getting the start ahead of Rasky, who's a little bit under the weather. And through the block and down by Paige Briggs Romine. Not Romaine, but Romine.
Ogilvy, the libero for Grand Rapids, does a nice job in transition giving Paige Briggs-Romine room to work inside off that block.
Carly Snyder leading the way now with 12 digs. That's impressive. Briggs-Romine with 8. High hands easily controlled by Tomcom. Oh, what a dig. Spectacular dig by Ogilvy. Tomcom right there as well. Rewatch does not use the off speed very often. And another good cover. That off the block and out of bounds. Good play by Nelson. But Ogilvy the star of that particular point.
Agree 100%. Elena Ogilvy, the rookie out of Stanford, making some big plays in the left back. Look at her dig that ball through the seam. And then later in that rally, picks up a short tip ball as well.
Ogilvy does have a dozen digs. It's hard to keep track when she gets 2 or 3 in a lot of these long rallies. Just underway here in the third set, tied at a set apiece. Grand Rapids at 7-11. Columbus got off to an 0-7 start. And they're trying to dig themselves out of that hole with 10 matches still to go. Nice connection between Turner and Jensen.
I think Cameron Turner set that ball over. It looked like she was set the middle and then.
So do we give her another kill?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Fine.
Okay, I'm perfectly fine with that.
You're counting, I'm counting. 5.
Isabella Rewatch will go back to serve, a pro since 2018. Most of her career, her family is originally from Poland, spent most of the time in China, Poland, and Germany. Briggs-Romine again, very, very solid all-around player. We've talked about it with a number of teams, and for the Rise, she is their glue.
Columbus serving Paige Briggs-Romine, and she finally gets the quick, fast, in-system ball where she has some seam to swing through. Hasn't got a lot of in-system balls.
That off Bastianelli, yeah. Briggs-Romine takes a lot of difficult swings. She's hitting just under 230. That's a very respectable number for an undersized outside attacker in this league. Sorry, Paige, but you are 5'10", and one must be honest with the audience. Here's Lush. Both teams pretty good in reception. Very good first contact. Walker and Tomcom not on the same page. Raina Terry calling for the ball. Good reaction by Briggs-Romine. Terry again. Did it touch the Columbus blocker on the way out of bounds? It was off the block and into the antenna, it appeared, but we're going to take another look. So we're going to have
Rapids is challenging a touch.
You can touch a ball off a blocker and also a ball off a defender. This is our 4th challenge so far on the night. The coaches are well, Angel Perez is 3 for 3. The first challenge right now for Kathy George in her 2nd season. The Bolt 6 staff and our TV crew are scouring and turning those reels on the videotape machine. They don't still do that. It's all digitally, by the way. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Things have changed, Paul.
They have. You have to tell me about that social media thing.
Yeah, that social media thing. There's some really good volleyball informational tips, teaching tips.
There is
see Bolt 6.
18 cameras around the court, the same system used at the Olympic Games. But this is not a dedicated Bolt 6 camera. This is a replay that's going to be generated by our outstanding TV crew. All those cameras on the lines, on the center line, on the net. Ten matches to go and must win for both of these teams. I mean, Columbus knows they're on life support right now, but Grand Rapids at 7-11, only a couple games back, a couple matches, a couple losses back in the loss column.
Obviously taking a good look at this one.
They're taking a very in-depth look. And we haven't seen a replay of, here we go, just as I mentioned that. Yep, right off of Raina Terry, number 16. So Bastianelli blocking with Turner. Look, it took a little extra time, but they got the call right.
Yeah, that's what's important.
Yep, got the call right. So that's a 2-point switch. Carly Snyder wants to make sure after that respite that they are in the correct rotation. Interesting rule, and it bears reminding. It's subtle, but in serve-receive in the Pro Volleyball Federation, you must be in your proper position, 1 through 6. But when you're serving, if you're in position number 2, but you're going to block in position number, you just can go stand there. I think that's just fine. Yeah, new this year, and I think it's just fine. Oh, Abby Walker. Let's see what her numbers look like in the last 8 or 9 matches of the year. She gets comfortable with Tom-Com.
Good overhand pass by Raina Terry, and then the quick feed behind Tom-Com to Abby Walker.
Cameron Turner's done a very nice job stepping in for August Rasky at the starting setting position. All-American out of Kansas in her rookie season. Good job on the joust, keeping the ball alive. Oh, what a read by Ogilvy. Just an incredible read by the libero, Elena Ogilvy out of Stanford. Holly McPeak will show that when we come back on the other side. I know she's a smart kid. She went to Stanford after all, but she read this play like a short story. What a move defensively. Sports is a proud partner of the Pro Volleyball Federation, coming your way on the Roku channel tonight. It's from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Holly McPeak. You've got to really appreciate this particular play.
I really do, because Nutsar Tom-Com has not thrown a ball down offensively all night long, and Elena Ogilvy, the libero for Grand Rapids, just hovering in the middle, ready for it, picks it up for a key point for Grand Rapids.
Hovering and then pounced on the opportunity.
She did.
That was very, very impressive. And her teammates know exactly who made that point possible.
Big celebration on their side.
And deservedly so. A dozen digs now for Ogilvy. A couple of occasions was the libero of the year and an All-American at Stanford. Libero of the year in the now defunct Pac-12 conference. Nice read and dig by Lush. And Jensen missed it out of bounds.
Cameron Turner trying to get her middle Jensen involved after the free ball. Just a little bit of a misconnection, pushed out of bounds.
Nutsara Tom-Com out of Thailand, just in the United States now for her 5th, make it 6th day. Joining the Columbus Fury for the stretch run.
6 kills for Cameron Turner. I don't know why you're serving Ogilvy.
I don't know either.
Proven that she passes a really nice ball, especially when it's right at her platform. Cameron Turner, very offensive-minded. I love it.
Carly Snyder has 10 kills. Paige Briggs-Romine, the 2 outside attackers, have 9, and Cameron Turner is 3rd after that. Another dig by Ogilvy. Rapach been a little quiet since the opening set. Gotta keep an eye on that ankle. Ripped by Terry. And we're waiting for bolt 6, and we're gonna have a challenge. You can't challenge in or out, so the ball must have been out.
I think it's a referee challenge. She's challenging herself, or bolt 6 or something. Her iPad might have blacked out. Something technical.
So we have a challenge, and there can be an official review.
Raina Terry wants that angle swing, I'll tell you that.
She sure does. She's missed a few over there. Do you see anything technically that she needs to add to that? Because it's a big opportunity for her.
It is. I just think it's getting it on top of the ball a little bit more with her hand to drive it down.
Yep, agreed with that. So we still haven't seen a call, mind you. We don't know if the ball was in or out. We did not see that call. And the ball was out of bounds. And so the ball was out of bounds by Raina Terry. So point possession back over to Grand Rapids. And now they have the 10-6 advantage here in the third, tied at 1 set apiece.
Everybody clap your hands. Come on, y'all.
I'm easily confused, as you know, Holly. But
I'm right there with you.
There's a lot of company in that particular regard.
Well, the in and out is called by bolt 6.
Yes.
That's why we're confused.
Off we go. Right in the lap of Sarami, right side to Rewatch. And that ball on the sideline. Nice kill. Isabella Rewatch, they certainly need her consistent production. Got off to a very good start. Remember, she was 7 of 11 in the opening set with no errors. The ball was signaled in. We're being told that challenging touch, but I'm sorry, that doesn't ring true with me.
Megan Courtney Lesh is asking if that ball was in. I thought the ball was pointed in, but then they're challenging for a touch if it was out.
All right, fans, get out those 50-50 tickets. Tonight's Gentex 50-50 winning number, J129.
Holly, I saw the ball signaled in.
I did
by
too.
Rewatch, yeah.
$62.50. Take that winning ticket to guest services behind section 104.
Well, being told here at the scorer's table that the referee called a touch, but Grand Rapids says no touch, and all of that is moot, in my opinion, because the ball was called good by bolt 6. Opening set, very strong finish by Columbus, 25-22. Grand Rapids came back to take the second set, 25-23.
Statistically, Columbus's offensive numbers after hitting 400 the first set have come way down, hitting 223 in this third set compared to Grand Rapids.
Yeah, the ball was in.
208.
Yeah. Holly, please give me 5.
Yeah, no,
like we said a bit ago, the ball was called good, so the rest of it is moot.
Unfortunately, nobody asked us.
They might ask you, then nobody's asking me anything. Yeah, both coaches are not particularly happy right now.
It's just the clarity of the explanation.
Yeah, and the pace of play. Was not a challenge. Carly Snyder asked a very smart question. Does that count for us as a challenge? And the official said it does not. So let's go. Here we go. Raina Terry back to serve. 10-7. Grand Rapids on top, tied at 1 set apiece. Tough serve. Rewatch again. Right side needs a little room. Another dig by Ogilvy, her 14th. Double contact was called. Had a big one late in the second set. Consistent call on that.
But that's unusual when a setter doubles it.
Well, I think we're both of the opinion, and nobody gave us a whistle.
No, they did.
That the fewer there are, the better. And that was no advantage whatsoever to Grand Rapids. They gained nothing from that. Terry again. He's got a good serve. And boy, indeed, that ball had a lot of movement, but just out of bounds. Kaylee Nelson must have been a good dodgeball player as a kid because she had to get the heck out of the way.
Little matrix maneuver.
Kaylee Nelson, mother of 2. Here is Snyder already with a couple of aces so far. No, thank you, Carly Snyder, right on cue. 3 aces so far on the night. Started with 19, third best in the league, and now with 22. Off the top of the tape. Rewatch, that ball set too tight. Rewatch again, and is able to tuck that ball inside of Jensen.
I'm not sure if the ball is wet, but another ball came off Tomcom's hands with a lot of spin.
Poked me in the ribs.
I'm sorry about
that's going to leave a mark.
Sorry.
What about that one,
I mean,
Paul?
you just never see that.
No.
Grand Rapids, a little late on their press. They got to seal that net for the stuff.
Ramelsburg. Oh, Kaylee Nelson showing some heat. She had a knee injury early on in the season, but she is adding some punch. Number 6 in blue.
Grand Rapids Rise have been using a lot of left side, but Cameron Turner isolating Kaylee Nelson on that right side for a first ball kill.
Good block out of the middle by Bastianelli. Do you go quick? No, on the pipe combination. Dug that time by Sarame. Turner out of the play. Pretty good set by Jensen. Another kill. 7 kills now for 5'8" Cameron Turner.
That was a fun rally. Tomcom bodied up a dig for Columbus. Checking her neck. There's a lot of heat on that ball. And then the little throw down to the middle. Beautiful kill by Cameron Turner.
Out of the back row. So she's got to be below the plane of the net. Cameron Turner was. So very, very deceptive and smart play. Celebrating that with Carly Snyder. Working on Lush. Oh, Rewatch. Snyder went left and the ball went to the right back.
But credit Rewatch for recognizing that, because a lot of times the defense has been moving right and she goes left off the hands.
15 kills now on 35 swings, hitting .324, and that will tick up even more. Nelson going over the top, read by Tomcom. Rewatch taking a tremendous swing, flying out of the back row to score for Columbus.
Tomcom from right front came all the way across the court to pick up that ball. Watch this play by the Columbus Fury defense. Tomcom comes all the way over, gets a right hand under Sarame, forced to set, and then Rewatch does the rest.
Oh, a net violation. Net violation called by the first referee, so that is a break for the Grand Rapids Rise on what was an overpass and should have been 99% a score for Columbus. 15-11 will have the second technical timeout when a team reaches 16. And that ball served just out of bounds by Nelson. Mentioned that she has 2 children, 2 daughters, Peyton and Riley. They were a little bit under the weather, so her husband flew out from Seattle to play dad. Went to the University of Washington. Briggs Romine through a hole in the block. What a read by Sarame. Tomcom again, very, very good read off the right front. Rewatch looking for hands, dug by Snyder. Dug by Rewatch, right on target. Back row combination and tucked down inside. Tomcom really moves the ball around.
I'll tell you, Grand Rapids Rise there to block that ball just a little bit late, get the hands over the net. You have to be so disciplined. It's the attention to detail that makes a difference.
6 kills now for Megan Courtney Lush. Once again, a 2-time national champion during her collegiate career for the one and only Russ Rose.
What a serve. The bottom just dropped out right in front of Carly Snyder.
Ogilvy stepping in to Bastianelli, who's been a lot more offensive through the last couple of matches, 15 of 38 for Ali Bastianelli out of the middle for Grand Rapids. That's a good number because she's such an effective blocker, Holly.
Grand Rapids needs to use their middles more, and yes, they're known for their blocking, but they can score too. This will take some pressure off your pins. Bastianelli with the kill out of the middle. Look at the head-to-head comparison of Columbus Fury. Isabella Rewatch hitting .343, 15 kills, 0 errors, and she's received a lot of sets. And then Carly Snyder on the left side for Grand Rapids Rise, really doing it all. 3 aces, 11 blocks.
11 digs.
And 11 digs, sorry, in 3 blocks.
Yeah.
Hitting
Both
206. Both players having a significant impact.
very productive in their respective roles, no question about that. Rewatch having a big night, 23 kills in the second meeting of the year. And as you pointed out so rightly, Holly, she got off to a slow start, a little dinged up the beginning of the season, but playing very well right now. Dug by Lush, back to Rewatch. She is so good hitting that deep corner. Good joust. Turner got back in the play. Raina Terry having a tough time finding the court, but this time finding the top of the block.
And Raina Terry attacking the smaller blocker, Cameron Turner. She's a good jumper, but the size advantage definitely in Raina Terry's favor.
Now 16-15 as Columbus has gone through a nice stretch here to get back in this third set. Tied at a set apiece. Abby Walker, the rookie out of Cincinnati, back to serve. Snyder in reception, nice block. Ramelsberg getting a hand on that, and then Carly Snyder. Great job by our crew building that graphic to feature the head-to-head, and Snyder now with her 11th kill.
Columbus Fury like to put up a triple block, especially when Nutsar Tom comes up there, but big seam between Terry and Ramelsberg of the Columbus Fury.
Snyder already with 3 aces in one of the 3 previous matches. She had 4 aces against the same Columbus team. Nice read by Rewatch. On the slide, and that ball is to the floor. Number 18, Kaylee Ramelsberg, doing good work.
Kaylee Ramelsberg getting that ball pushed to the pin, and Grand Rapids is leaving their block a little inside. Ramelsberg goes outside it down that line.
Here's Tomcom. Again, why are they serving Ogilvy? Tomcom should maybe doesn't remember. They didn't. Elena Ogilvy was at Stanford last year. Oh, what a block. 3-woman block. Rewatch, Ramelsberg, and who else got in there as well? Raina Terry.
That's a monster block. Look at these 3. They know it's an out-of-system play, but Rewatch does all the work on that right pin with her right hand.
Oh, that ball served just out of bounds by Nutsara Tomcom. Last year, the outstanding setter in the Pro Volleyball Federation. Went back to her native Thailand, played for about half a season before coming back to the United States to finish out the year with Columbus. Terry going off speed the last couple of swings. That's not off speed. Kaylee Nelson high up into the block and out of bounds. Much needed score for Grand Rapids.
Beautiful transition kill on the right side. Grand Rapids needs more of those.
Really good reception. And Rewatch. She hits the ball. If you did a shooting chart, right, but always high and deep. Exactly.
Always
right.
high and deep, but she uses the entire court.
Nelson doing a good job in the stead of Nia Shimei, who missed several. Just as I say that, probably Kaylee Nelson's most ineffective attempt so far on the outside, but Nia Shimei was injured for a while, the rookie out of SMU, but had been playing very well lately. Tied at 19. Tied at 1 set apiece. Nice dig by Terry. Riggs, Romine, 3-woman block again. That has been effective for Columbus.
Columbus Fury uses the 3-woman block more than any team in this league, and in this back row attempt puts a ton of pressure on Paige Briggs. Romine, Rewatch again getting most of that on the right side of that Columbus Fury block.
Yeah, Rewatch with another stuffed block, having a big night offensively. Let's take a look once again at the current standings around the Pro Volleyball Federation. 6 of the 8 teams are playing. This is the tiebreaker rules. It's match points accumulated. You get 3 points for a win in either 3 sets or 4 sets, 2 points for a win. In 5 sets, you get 1 point for a loss. The head-to-head results, and then all the way down to sets ratio. And you don't want to get down to the coin toss for a tiebreaker for a spot in the playoffs. No question about that. Atlanta's going for number 7 in a row versus San Diego tonight. Indy's won 3 in a row at Orlando on Sunday after an off week. And Orlando had won 8 out of 9 and now have lost 3 out of the last 4. What does this tell you about the last 5 or 6 weeks of the regular season?
That it's crucial. I mean, those 4 teams in a really good position, especially Omaha and Orlando. Atlanta Vibe and Indy Ignite have been playing extremely well, but Vegas Thrill, Grand Rapids Rise on the outside looking in, but they can get hot. There's enough matches to make some room and push to get in that top 4 to play for $1 million.
Atlanta looking for their 6th, make it their 7th straight win on the evening. Each of the teams of Omaha and Orlando have gone through long stretches of a lot of success. Serve to Ogilvy again. There is Nelson trying to come back. Come back from that unfortunate short tip that found the net. Jensen out of the middle and missed it long.
All right, fans, a quick update with our grand
That ball can be set a little bit higher. Alyssa Jensen is long, and you want to get it up high so she can get on top of that ball.
Jensen at 6'4". 21-19. Columbus has come back to take the lead. Raina Terry's done a nice job. She's served a lot of points. Nice reaction by Turner. Block touch. Do you go to Lush? Yeah, you do. Ball maybe a little bit low. What a cover by Sarame. That was a tough one right on the sideline. Big moment right now for Grand Rapids. To Rewatch off the edge. Dug by Ogilvy. Still alive. Crucial point on both sides. Carly Snyder.
That time, Grand Rapids did a better job against Rewatch on the right side and get a really nice swing of their own. Carly Snyder this time, right side high, attacking that deep middle.
The lead in that point changed sides a couple of different times. 21-20. Tough serve by Snyder. What a bump set to Rewatch and a better block. Briggs Romine along with Jensen. It's the first hitting error all night for Rewatch.
Earlier, I talked about the bump set of Tomcom. Look at, she puts it on a dime on that right pin. That time, Isabella Rewatch just brought it down, and Romine and Jensen get the Grand Rapids block.
Rewatch 16 kills on 42 swings, her first hitting error, and we're tied at 21 and tied at 1 set apiece.
Isabella Rewatch, we knew she was going to have a big match, needed to have a big match, but both sides of the ball, some nice defensive stops, and she has been impressive, not only on that right pin, but also out of the back row.
And what an example she is in terms of her preparation. Saw Rewatch for the first time, had Columbus earlier, but she was unavailable to play. And just the preparation she goes through, just for serve and pass, a really, really good example of what it means to be a pro in this sport, and somebody that a lot of the young players in Columbus and around the league could certainly learn from. 11 digs as well, working hard at both ends of the floor. Tied at 21. Here is Snyder again, and a good point scorer so far for Grand Rapids. Nice pass by Terry, and back to Rewatch. Wow, quality swing, and missed it out of bounds. We're going to have a challenge. Challenge for touch on the block.
Columbus is challenging a block touch.
Another very high, hard swing by Rewatch.
Always close when these two teams play.
Briggs Romine is looking at her right hand. I don't know if she's giving it away. That's not how it'll be decided. Once again, you get two challenges. You can challenge touch off the block, a net violation, foot fault on the service line, 3-meter line, and the center line, ball up or down, and for contacts. You cannot challenge in or out. That is done electronically by Bolt 6 and their headquarters, out of their headquarters in Charlotte. Here's the look. Oh, there you see it, no block touch. So that was cleanly and just slightly over the top of Briggs Romine. I felt something, but maybe it was just the wind.
Back-to-back errors for Rewatch after having a clean match.
Her first 40 swings were no errors. Her last two, not so much. 22-21 for the all-important 2-1 lead. Here's Snyder again. Oh, a block. Melissa Jensen. The best blocking team in the PVF.
Columbus Fury need to lock into that first contact so they can keep Nutsara Tomcom in a good position to run the offense.
Tough serve down the line, overpass. Yeah, Alyssa Jensen points right back at teammate Carly Snyder.
A tough serve sets up those point-scoring opportunities.
Set points now for Grand Rapids, leading 24-21. A timeout will be called by Columbus. What's on the line? Columbus, 10 matches left. Have to win 7 out of 10. That's a huge ask for Grand Rapids. Also 10 matches left at 7-11. They're a little bit closer to what would be a potential playoff performance or playoff spot. But once again, to reiterate the standings, Atlanta looking for their 7th win. Omaha on top, 12-5, followed by Orlando. Indy doing a wonderful job hanging right in. Las Vegas got off to that 7-2 start and then lost 7 in a row. There have been a lot of runs in this league, both positively and negatively, and we'll have Las Vegas. We'll have Vegas on Sunday. Be sure and join us on Fox Sports 2. We'll be in Las Vegas for their match against San Diego. Set point number 1. And Raina Terry is right in Carly Snyder's wheelhouse in the right back. Cross-court serve. Snyder goes down the line. Perfect pass. Rewatch again rattles the ball off of Jensen. One set point save.
And that's what Columbus needed. They need to nail that pass. Now we've got a double sub coming in for Columbus.
Kaylee Cox coming in along with Jill Gillen. Gillen, the All-American out of Arkansas. What a tremendous career she had there. And Cox adding some more size up front. Set point number 2. Guts. Oh, what a pass by Ogilvy. And the kill. What a first ball reception. Jill Gillen comes off the bench. What a gutsy, tough serve. And Ogilvy was up to it, Holly.
I was thinking the same. Jill Gillen of Columbus Fury off the bench at a crucial point in the third set, goes up and rips her serve. Ogilvy dives to her left. Perfect pass. Kill out of the middle. Grand Rapids go up 2-1.
Back in Grand Rapids with my partner Holly McPeak. 2-1 is the advantage for the Rise. What do these numbers tell you?
That this match is really close. It's been decided by a very small difference at the end of the second and third set. Columbus Fury, their numbers have come down to 11, but we're seeing some fantastic defense both sides of the net, and Grand Rapids just a little bit better at the end of that third set.
Yeah, I think the level in all phases in reception has been very good. The blocking now for Grand Rapids is starting to show itself, but they've really done a good job defensively. Remember, Columbus hit 400 when they won the opening set. That was a tight set, 25-22. So Tom Com will go back to serve. Elena Ogilvy has been superb. Underway, fourth set. Terry high up into the block, covered by Lush. And out of the middle, nice play by Rommelsberg.
Grand Rapids had a really nice pass, run in their middle. Jensen just needs a little more pop on that ball to get a kill.
Now time for Columbus to make some adjustments and dig back into this. There's Jensen. Right, good call, Holly.
And Ogilvy just nailing that pass, passing dimes for Grand Rapids. I think you want to serve away from her or yo-yo her, serve her deep, serve her short, but right at Ogilvy does not work.
Nice play by Lush. Pretty tough serve by Snyder. Briggs Romine off the top. Good first contact again by Lush, playing center back. Right side to Nelson down the line. Yeah, I think every serve to Elena Ogilvy, unless you're just ripping it, is a mistake. She's just been fantastic.
Agreed.
Here is Snyder, already 3 aces so far on the night, and now 4. At her season high 4 aces, also against Columbus
Good
in
things
one of the
happen.
previous matches.
Yeah, when you're aggressive, good things happen.
Start by Grand Rapids. Must-win situation now for Columbus to keep this match alive. And working on Terry, and that one will be out of the reach of Paula Sarame. Going to have a substitution. We're going to have Kaylee Cox coming on now for Raina Terry. Terry, the rookie out of Illinois, gets targeted. She held up pretty well and has held up pretty well on the season, but I think that's a good substitution. Cox, cold coming off the bench, hard to get an opportunity right away.
I think it's a big ask of anybody, no matter what year, to pass Carly Snyder's serve. She is bombing that.
Angel Perez will not wait long, now trailing 5-1. Nice response by Cox. Rommelsberg is dug. Libero has got a bump set inside the 3-meter line. Ogilvy again. Very early, but almost feels like a must-have for Columbus. Rewatch. The one rotation where she hits off the left side. Again, high fingers.
And one thing Tom Com knows is she knows who her hot hitter is, and that's Rewatch. I'll tell you, Sarame and Tom Com have run into each other minimum 5 times, both just covering that middle ball and the short balls.
I want to ask you a question after this particular point regarding Rewatch. And that ball is blocked in. In the men's game, you see it all the time because everybody hits high flat, blockers pulling their hands down. I would be tempted to do that against Isabella Rewatch because she's always aiming just for the top of your hands. What do you think?
I like that idea.
I do it just to plant the seed.
Okay. Just once or twice?
Yeah, just to make her think about it.
Fans to put their helmets on. I like it, but I also think Isabella Rewatch has seen what's going on.
She's seen just about everything. Jill Gillen now on as well. Angel Perez. Can't wait long. Oh, and the ace against Sarame. A little bit of communication problems back there with new receivers on the floor.
Well, Sarame looked like she was trying to get out of the way for Columbus, and it just followed her. Heat seeker.
That ball drifts out of bounds. So Gillen is on, number 10 in red, along with Kaylee Cox. Gillen, a lot of volleyball fans around the country will remember her as the high-flying 5'7" outside hitter with thousands of kills at Arkansas. Teamed with Taylor Head for a long time. This very, very strong duo. That serve is missed by Ramelsburg. Taylor Head finished her career. She's now also playing in the league, but finished her career at Florida State. We'll step aside. First technical timeout. Grand Rapids on top, 2-1 and 8-4. Back live once again in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and wasn't it a beautiful spring afternoon? Had something in the arena. It's supposed to be 67 degrees. Everybody's going to hit the golf course tomorrow. Really a lovely day, and the Pro Volleyball Federation coming your way on the Roku Sports Channel with three-time Olympian, NCAA champion, bronze medalist Holly McPeak. I'm Paul Sunderland. Thanks so much for joining us. We will be together in Vegas on Sunday. Right now, Columbus is focusing on 1 point at a time and getting back in this match. Remember, they trailed 16-12 in the opening set. Went on a nice run to come back and take it 25-22. Sarame. Rewatch. Boy, does she generate heat. No wonder she's got a bunch of Kinesio tape.
Isabella Rewatch has been so impressive. Look at her work to get her approach and then heat her cross court. Right back defender can't stop it.
Ogilvy, very good read on the short serve. And Briggs Romine, one of those glue players around the league. Good in reception, holds her own in attacking. Wonderful defender. You look at her receiving numbers, 63% positive. That's among the best in the league. Briggs Romine like to have that one back. Pretty good dig. Plenty of time for Columbus. They're facing a must-win situation to keep this match going. Trail 2-1. 2,075 kills during her career at Arkansas. For Jill Gillen. Ooh, that ball didn't clear. Unforced error there. Bastianelli missed that.
Angel Perez staying with the new lineup. Cox and Gillen on that left side. Trying to create a spark.
10 serving, Jill Gillen.
Oh, tough serve. Well handled by Briggs Romine. Dug by Gillen, but Tom Com could not keep the play alive. That was a really strong side out. That was Snyder again. Good heat off the left side by Carly Snyder. Mentioned she'd spent 6 years professionally after leaving Florida in France. Played for 4 different teams at 4 different times. Was the most outstanding left side outside hitter in the league. Tom-com. It's universal. Going pipe. It doesn't matter if you're from Germany, Thailand, or wherever you're from. It's still set the pipe.
Jill Gillen identifies a big block in front of her. Nice roll shot right over the block for the Columbus Fury.
10-8 is the lead. Make it 11-8 on that service error by Walker. Boy, both teams doing good work at the defensive end after a hot start offensively right now. Columbus is hitting 212. Grand Rapids is hitting 186 as a team. Pretty close. They've gone back to the mean, pretty close to their season averages. And once again, speaking of season averages, the block really starting to take shape now for Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids serving the ball much better than Columbus, and they've been going at Kaylee Cox, getting her out of system, and then a well-formed block in front of her.
Listen, Jensen, long arms, get well over the net. Cox again, good block touch. Tight to Snyder, looking for some high hands and missed it out of bounds. Good thought, good swing. 12-9 is the advantage. First set went to Columbus 25-22, Grand Rapids 25-23, 25-22. Another very close match between these two teams. Snyder off the right side, dug by Gillen. Rewatch ripping down the line. Wonderful dig by Ogilvy. Snyder going off speed. Good read by Rewatch, but took her out of the play. Another wonderful read by Ogilvy and missed out of bounds. Players are taking some good, difficult swings. And just missing once again is Carly Snyder, and not happy about it. 12-10. Sarah Tom-com, now 39 years of age. Most outstanding setter in the inaugural season of the PVF last year for San Diego. Got them into the playoffs. Sarame. Oh. Sarame is saying, I got that. Spatula under pancake.
I'm not sure that spatula was under the pancake.
Well, she certainly was emphatic about it. Any part of the ball on the floor at all, you can feel, and we've all done it, Holly, you can feel that you got that, but sometimes you got a lot of the ball, but you didn't get all of it. We shall see. Had some very critical challenges and decisions here so far on the evening. That ball's down.
Told you the spatula wasn't under the pancake.
It was under, you know, like 10% of it. It was a short stack.
Cameron Turner, another kill.
Yeah. She's going to get to double digits. That would be a career high, I think, even going back to her wonderful years for Ray Bouchard at Kansas. Congratulations to Coach Bouchard, winningest coach in the history of Kansas volleyball, has decided to retire, along with John Cook, Mary Wise. Quickly, oh, look out. Wow, that was ripped by Paige Briggs. Romine.
Talk about put your helmet on. Look out. Paige Briggs, Romine of Grand Rapids Rise, gets a quick feed to the pin and hits that ball quick outside the block.
What a delivery by Cameron Turner. And that ball ripped. Nicely done by Ramelsberg. Back and forth we go. The separation came early. Early lead for Grand Rapids. Now at 14-12, we'll have the second technical timeout when a team reaches 16. Walker back on. Nice pass. Well done by Snyder. And Walker Didn't get it all and off the top of the tape, but Columbus will certainly take it. Now back within one.
Bastinelli for Grand Rapids Rise needs to stay aggressive. Got a little tentative on that one.
That's a really good call. Had success with that off speed early on, but went to that well maybe one too many times. Right side, Nelson over the top, dumped by Cox. Hittable ball. Rapace rips through the block and down. Magnificent. Ramelsberg was like forced to Call of Duty. You know, somebody set this ball.
And she stepped in and put up a hittable ball for Rapace on the right side. Little hesitation to get set. Ogilvy almost comes up with the left-hand stab.
Rapace now with 21 kills on 50 swings. Ramelsberg, good read all over that. Gillen off the block and out of bounds.
Jill Gillen loves to play with speed, so Tomcom is her type of setter. Fast to the pin, and Gillen works off the inside of the block.
Ramelsberg played in Europe last year out of the University of Indiana, doing a good job at the service line. 4-0 run. Looking for 5. Tough serve, pretty well handled. Briggs, Romine, not going to come back. Both setters playing with good tempo.
And that tempo really creates opportunities.
We'll have our second technical timeout after this particular point. Briggs Romine now with 14 kills on 43 swings. And Nelson misses that out of bounds. So we will step aside. Must-win situation for Columbus, trailing 2-1. We'll be back to Grand Rapids on the Roku Sports Channel right after this. Upcoming matches coming your way on Roku. Atlanta versus San Diego. These same Grand Rapids Rise taking on the Valkyries. The Omaha Supernovas. Vegas has got some big matches coming up. They've gotten themselves back in the playoff mix after they lost 7 in a row. And then a really big one with playoff implications between Indy and Las Vegas. The semifinals are May 9th, and the finals are May 11th. So still a lot of very, very important volleyball still to come. Back with Holly McPeak, I'm Paul Sunderland. Thanks for joining us here in Grand Rapids. 4th and final meeting. The 3 previous contests between these two. Morgan Lewis back on, who was very good in the double sub for Columbus, and it is the double sub with Wilma Rivera coming on. Good left-handed jump serve. On the slide, nice dig by Rivera. Quickly to the outside, Briggs Romine. It's got something very good going now with Turner.
Briggs Romine gets on the ball fast. She beats you with speed. Fantastic ball control addition for the Grand Rapids lineup.
Got into the starting lineup when Carly Snyder went down, and you can't get her out now, nor do you want to. Timing not there for Lewis. Good read by Cox. Lewis again down the line. Another dig for Ogilvy. We'll give you her totals after this. And then out of the back row, Paige, Briggs, Romine. Elena Ogilvy now with 25 digs.
For Grand Rapids Rise, it was all Carly Snyder at the beginning. Now it's Paige Briggs Romine taking her turn. Fast ball out of the pipe.
Gillen quickly off the edge and out of bounds. Ripped that off of Cameron Turner. Gillen wearing number 10, played in Orlando last year. Average 3 kills per set, played a lot of volleyball. Has not gotten as many opportunities this year with Columbus. Going for it, missed that out of bounds. Here is Bastianelli. Started to heat it up in the blocking phase midway through the second set. Good block touch. Right on schedule and a better block. Morgan Lewis, once again, the double sub. Very good point scoring for Columbus.
Angel Perez has tons of confidence, and both players in on the double sub. Look at Morgan Lewis dominate on that right side. Big stop for Columbus.
This is a formidable front line. Lewis, Ramelsberg there along with Kaylee Cox. 6'3" or better right across the front row. Haley Nelson chopped off that line. Wow, just missed it over the sideline.
This is a rotation for the Grand Rapids right setter is front row Cameron Turner, and we know she's already got 7-8 kills. Might call her own number. Columbus needs to be ready.
Need a good pass first. Abby Walker, good save in the defense. Oh, better block. Cox there along with Ramelsberg. A chance for Columbus to retake the lead. Bang, bang plays at the net. That's an experienced outside international level attacker.
But there were so many digs. Cameron Turner slid under some impossible balls to keep it alive. Ogilvy, then you see Turner. Impressive.
Ogilvy, one of the few, I'm not saying she missed that. She has made so many incredible defensive saves, wearing number 2 in the Libero jersey. Excellent receiver, the rookie out of Stanford, 2-time All-American, twice the Pac-12 Libero of the Year. Following in the footsteps of Morgan Hintz on the farm. That's a serving mistake. Alyssa Jensen able to tap that, or not tap, hammer that through. You can't serve Elena Ogilvy in that situation.
Nutsara Tomcom is new to the league this year and didn't get the memo about Ogilvy being a nails passer for Grand Rapids.
Snyder, tough serve. Looking to break the lead. Good block out of the middle by Ramelsberg. Coming out to Rewatch, just inside the... Oh, what a swing from just inside the 3-meter line.
Rewatch just needs a little room to work around that block, and even though this ball is just in front of that 3-meter line, look at the arm speed by Rewatch working through that seam.
And always high and deep. I think she's been blocked. She's missed a ball or two out of bounds, but I think she's been blocked once all night long. That was a big service error by Columbus. Jenna Otek is on now, out of Purdue. Started the season at the Libero. Right side to Rewatch. Tomcom takes a look, and again, Isabella Rewatch is just a kill machine.
This is a rotation with Ramelsberg on the service line for Columbus Fury. They went on a run last time.
Yep, their point scoring in this particular rotation was very good. Rewatch now with 22 kills on 52 swings, hitting .330. Another tough serve. Right side to Nelson, inside of Gillen, dubbed by Tomcom. A very, very rare ball control mistake by Elena Ogilvy.
And it's crunch time. It's a must-win set for the Columbus Fury, and they pulled 2 ahead.
At 5-13, they're already looking up at a lot of teams in the standings. They cannot let one get away. Grand Rapids at 7-11. Certainly in a better situation. And again, Columbus started the year. Remember, Rewatch missed 2 out of their first 3 matches. And that's part of the year, or part of the reason why Columbus started 0-7. Earlier tonight, Atlanta, the hottest team in the Pro Volleyball Federation, looking for their franchise record 7th straight win. They have been playing exceptionally well. That was Maya Tabron, also out of SMU. Tied at 1 set apiece. Atlanta now leading at 2-1, and nicely off the edge of the block. Marley Monserrat. So now Atlanta have won 7 in a row and improved to 13-8. And one of the other storylines we should talk about, Nutsara Tomcom was looking for a team in the PVF, but we should congratulate Tori Stringer. She's expecting her first child. She was in the mix as the starting setter, along with Wilma Rivera for the Columbus Fury, and she is expecting her first child in September, going to be a little girl, so congratulations to them. She's still with the team, but created an opening for Tomcom to join Columbus. Briggs Romine. Huge rattle side-out score.
And that's what Paige Briggs Romine does well. Beat you, like I said, with the speed. She likes that ball pushed with pace, and then she works it hard through the block.
3 hitters now for Columbus. Good pass. Out of the middle, look out.
Tomcom got that high and quick to Abby Walker out of the middle. Kaylee Nelson a little bit surprised at how good that contact was defensively. Her hands were not up to stop that ball.
Set points now for Columbus. Rewatch back at the line. Briggs Romine going quick. Done by Cox. Tough chance. Walker fighting it off. Dig by Ogilvy. Magnificent dig again. Cox is doing a very nice job. Rewatch closes the door for Columbus, and we're going to go 5. 4th meeting, all 4 of them go to 5 sets.
The defense to win that last point was pretty fantastic. Cox puts it in Nutsara's hands. Hot hitter, Rewatch finishes it off the edge of the block.
The fans here at Van Andel Arena in downtown Grand Rapids trying to shine a light on their rise and pull them through for a 5-set victory. Look at this, 25-22, 25-23, 25-22, 25-22. After 4 sets, Columbus leads in the cumulative scoring 95-94.
Wow.
Yep, for the 4th straight time.
It's that close.
Yep, 4th and final meeting. They'll start in rotation number 1, Tomcom.
Will she adjust and not go at Ogilvy?
She will not. Ooh, over the top of the block by Carly Snyder. Snyder's had a nice night. Very solid receiving the ball. She's got 15 kills on 51 swings, 12 digs, 20 total points, 3 aces as well. 5 set records. Long run by Kaylee Cox. Unfortunate, Sarami and Gillen were both down.
How about the location of that serve? Carly Snyder attacking the seam between Sarame and Gillen.
Wow. Officially, Carly Snyder has 6 aces so far on the night. That's got to be a new career high. It's a new franchise record so far for Grand Rapids. Wonderful play. I'll tell you, Cameron Turner, we've talked about Nutsara Tomcom a lot, and deservedly and rightfully so, but Cameron Turner stepping in, the rookie out of Kansas, in for August Rasky, who was under the weather. Very impressive. Tough serve. Looking for the 4-0 lead. Oh, missed it out of bounds. Tough chance that time for Briggs Romine. Been a good volleyball match. Look at the score, but very competitive. And Angel Perez went to his bench with Cox and Gillen, and that pulled them through. Another easy serve. Oh, big block by Gillen. Jill Gillen at 5'7", skying on this block.
We've talked all season long about the depth of these teams. Watch Jill Gillen, who's been on the bench for Columbus Fury at 5'7", get up, and big defensive stop at the net for Columbus.
Another very good reception. That ball paintbrushed. That ball might have been going out of bounds, but the defenders for Columbus probably thought it was touched at the net.
Columbus has to serve the ball tougher.
Yes.
Avoid Ogilvy.
Yeah, exactly right, Holly. No more more to Ogilvy. No more to the libero number 2 in the red jersey. Oh, that's a break for Columbus. 15-point tiebreaker. The teams will change sides when one reaches 8. You do have 2 timeouts, and you do have 2 challenges. The technical timeout will be when a team reaches 8. Ooh, Ramelsberg has been a good point scorer for Columbus, but Nick came up just a hair short. Nelson back at the line. August Rasky, left-hander, clever server, good location. So in spite of being far from 100%, outstanding setter now in her 6th year as a pro. Played for San Diego last year. A lot of professional volleyball under her belt in Italy and in France. She's been sitting for a long time. Got the ball effectively on Cox. Rewatch, what a dig by Snyder. Gillen, a little bit of a mishandle. To Rewatch again, and she's blocked. Bastianelli.
What might be challenging for Grand Rapids, they've got 2 setters on the court. August Rasky is not going to be running the offense, but stops is what Grand Rapids needs to pull ahead in this 5th set.
Still targeting Cox, and then the timing not there. That was a very, very expensive point. That was donated by Columbus.
Tomcom and Gillen are talking it out, trying to figure out that rhythm, and takes more than a couple reps to do that.
And a couple of days of practice. Yeah, once again, Nutsara Tomcom arrived from Thailand just 5 or 6 days ago. Timeout called, so Angel Perez could not wait for the technical timeout and the side change at 8. I agree with that. Yeah, you got to stop it right now. Gillen and Tomcom. That's good. In the huddle, visiting, moving on. Grand Rapids at 7-11, coming off a loss here at Van Andel to Vegas. 3-1 back on the 20th. Haven't played since then. And Columbus lost 3-0 to Atlanta. Atlanta got their 7th straight win tonight over San Diego. Very impressive. What do you think is keyed for Atlanta for this run?
I think they've got more consistent on their first contact. They sped up their offense. We saw it last weekend. They looked much quicker, and Timmer has been solid for them. Lee Edmond, we talk about her serve and her big numbers, but Timmer has been really solid, and Marley Montsray is running a really nice offense for Atlanta.
Indy, who's won 3 in a row. I'll get back to what else is coming up. Nice play by Gillen. That's really good maturity by Nutsara Tomcom and Jill Gillen. They visited that entire timeout. But just to finish the thought, Indy's won 3 in a row. That they're at Orlando, who had won 9 in a row, but now has lost 3 out of 4. That's a result I'm going to be very, very interested in on Sunday. Indy's done. We've talked about it throughout the night when we've had a chance to look at the standings. Indy hanging in there without Lekator Membremena. And Ajani Teeler is playing at an MVP level. Nice play by Gillen, but taken out of the play. Morgan Lewis off the right side. Rasky with a very nice dig. Gillen knew she missed the tip. Gillen again, not twice in a row. Boy, she is tough. 7-5.
Watch Jill Gillen. First of all, she had a high tip, but lucky for her, she got another chance fast through that seam, and that's what she's done her entire career. Quick balls to the pin where she can capitalize.
Good serve by Rivera. Yeah. Now we're going to have a challenge. I thought that ball went off of Briggs Romine, off the block from Columbus. So we will challenge. Let's listen to the referee.
Columbus is challenging a touch.
Had the play earlier on. Remember, it did. It took a while to find it, but it went off of Raina Terry. And now Columbus arguing, making their case that that ball went off of number 13, Paige Briggs Romine. This is our look. This won't be a bolt 6. Oh, yeah. Yep, off the right tricep that time of Briggs Romine.
Nice handwork. You see the
Yep.
Columbus blockers making sure to be over the net.
There it is. Yeah, that's good quick work on the challenge. Defensive touch and good work by Angel Perez and his staff. It was a fairly obvious call. Even when I saw it live. Rivera back at the line. She's avoiding Ogilvy. Now 7-6. Good response by Columbus. We'll have a side change at 8. A chance for the tie. Morgan Lewis, once again, the double sub paying such dividends.
I love that Angel Perez is not afraid to put his bench in. He's got players who can score, very talented, and they made a difference.
Tied at 7. Of course it is. Rivera did good point scoring. So the teams will change sides here in Grand Rapids. We talked about it before first serve. Absolutely a must win for both of these teams. We'll see what happens as we play the tiebreaker to 15. Fifth set tiebreaker to 15 points, and why not? Fourth and final meeting between Grand Rapids and Columbus, and each and every of the 4 matches has gone the distance. Upcoming schedule for Grand Rapids at Omaha versus Las Vegas. Look at that. They got the O's. They got a lot of O's on their schedule down the stretch. Columbus really on fumes at 5-13 with any thought of getting into the 4-team playoff. But they have played a much tougher schedule year to date. Isabella Rapach, they would like to relive the beginning of the season with her being available, having missed 2 out of the first 4 matches. Here is Briggs Romine. Gillen is blocked. Cameron Turner got most of that.
Jill Gillen on that left pin for Columbus. We know she wants to be aggressive. Look at Cameron Turner up and over. Nice left hand press to shut that down.
Cameron Turner may only come in at 5'8", but she is a superb athlete. Lewis again, good play off speed. Very smart shot by Lewis, number 30 in red.
Cameron Turner came all the way across the court, was able to pancake it. Nobody else to get that second touch, though.
Cameron Turner officially with 7 kills so far on the night. 20 digs for Turner as well. Here is Gillen. 9-8 is the lead. Right down to the wire. Ogilvy. Not perfect, but very good. Cox is on the left side, coming back to Lewis off the right. Good block work for Grand Rapids. Read by Snyder, and she immediately told Turner she was out. To Lewis again. Snyder with a big swing.
Paige Briggs Romine playing middle back for Grand Rapids, came up with a huge dig to give Carly Snyder that swing opportunity. There you see the dig, and then Wilma Rivera goes to Carly Snyder. Lots of pace on that one, gets away from Gillen.
17 kills, 15 digs for Snyder. Columbus needing a good pass out of system here. Coming to Cox. Oh, what a swing. Not perfect, but a very good bump set.
It was, and Kaylee Cox went to the corner. That's a good location. Ali Bastinelli there as the defender and couldn't come up with it.
Megan Courtney Lush got the start for the first time in a month. Severely sprained ankle. You can see down on her right leg. She's got a braced right ankle. She played some matches recently, but only in the backcourt. Started all the way around for the first time since that injury tonight. And it happened right here. Carly Snyder again. Boy, both of the coaches going well into their bench. August Raske came on. The double sub has been really good for Columbus. Angel Perez made some big-time changes. Perfect pass. Lewis again. Well, a lot of confidence in number 30 in red.
I would too. Morgan Lewis is a high percentage kill player, and then she just presents a big defensive stop at 6'3".
So Tom Com is back on. The lead is just one. 15-point tiebreaker. The double sub celebrating on the sideline.
Where does Tom Com go?
Not to Ogilvy. Briggs Romine. Good pass. Snyder is blocked. Rapach with the stuff on the outside. And we're tied at 11.
That ball died a tiny bit inside, and Rapach was all over it defensively.
It was 95-94 in terms of total score after 4 sets, and here we are again. Right side to Nelson. Huge swing off the right side by number 6 in blue.
Credit Cameron Turner for reversing the flow and going behind her. This ball goes way left, but Cameron Turner pushes it to the right, and Kaylee Nelson has line to kill that ball.
Rapach, unforced error, tough chance, but unforced. It is 13-11.
Columbus needs to lock in for that first contact.
Snyder with 6 aces so far on the night. Started it out with a couple of scoring serves in the opening set and just kept it on from there.
Serving such an important part of the game. Every coach says, hey, you got to win the serve and pass game. And when you've got Carly Snyder dialing up 6 aces and putting all sorts of pressure on the opponents, that really helps your cause.
(13-11). Grand Rapids still has a lot of work to do over what will be after tonight. There are 9 remaining matches, and the schedule is tough. But it's the same for everybody. 8 teams in the league, you play every team 4 times. But sometimes it matters when you get them and when they get you. And the travel and home and the road.
And it's a long season. You want to finish strong.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if you started hot or you started slow.
Yeah.
You want to finish strong with confidence and momentum and rhythm all going into the playoffs. But you got to get there.
Natalie Foster, 6 aces earlier on this year. We were there for that. We're the good luck charm for the servers.
We are.
Snyder again. Immediately ahead in the point. Block touch by Ramelsberg. Got to go right side. No, you go pipe. Off the block and down by Snyder.
Carly Snyder is feeling it for the Grand Rapids Rise. She wants the ball. She's staying aggressive.
Match point for Snyder. Crowd on their feet. That was her 19th kill, 15 digs, 6 aces, only 2 service errors all night long. We don't have her total attempts, but it's been a lot. Match point. Very good pass. Oh, what a gutsy set by Tom Com to Ramelsberg. 1 match point saved.
2 Grand Rapid Rise blockers right there trying to slow down that middle, but Ramelsberg able to sneak it through for a kill.
Kaylee Cox back to serve. Raina Terry is back on. Left side, Briggs Romine for the win. Not yet, blocked by Rapach. Do you call a timeout? timeout if you're Grand Rapids?
Yes.
There it is. One more match point, but 2 have been saved. One at the offensive end, and this at the defensive end, a block by Isabella Rewatch, who's done everything. 23 kills, hitting .271, taken 59 swings, 12 digs, 5 blocks.
No surprise that 1 point separates them.
Exactly right. I can't do the math quickly enough in my head, but I know that we are tied in terms of total points. It's 109 to 109.
Look at you.
There you go.
Pretty good. Happy early birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Partner.
Thank you. Thank you. Speaking of big numbers.
Speaking of really big numbers.
Thanks to you, get to go home and celebrate it with my family and my grandchildren. Ozzy, I'm coming.
Columbus needs a stop. Who are they going to serve on this one?
Not the woman in red. That would be Elena Ogilvy, who's been absolutely superb. Look at the receiving pattern, though. You got Carly Snyder, expert in reception. Briggs Romine is over 60% positive.
And that's what you want as a coach. Hard to pick a place to attack.
Pressure here on Cox. Very easy serve. Where do you go? Briggs Romine for the win. Cox with a dig. Good bump set. What a cover. Magnificent by Sarami. Grand Rapids going to get a swing right now for the win. Oh! Using all of the equipment somehow to the floor. Briggs, Romine, excuse me, Holly, tantalizing off the top of the tape and closes it out 15-13.
What a battle, and well played on both sides of the net. I thought Columbus Fury showed some incredible fight, played at a really high level.
Yep.
The first set was unbelievable.
The fifth set loss so far on the year for Columbus. The difference in having a chance for the playoffs and not. And Grand Rapids now with their 8th win against 11 losses keeps their playoff hopes alive.
Paige Briggs Romine that time works it through the middle block, catches a piece of the tape, but drops, and Grand Rapids rise, celebrate.
Well, just a tremendous battle. Paige Briggs Romine with 17 kills. Carly Snyder with 18. Both of them in double digits with kills. Isabella Rewatch, just a star all night long. And Nutsara Tomcom, everything is advertised as good as she was last year. The updated standings, the O's on top. Atlanta won their 7th in a row tonight. Indy there as well. And Grand Rapids gets their 8th win so far on the season. That'll do it from Grand Rapids, where once again the homestanding Rise go the distance against Columbus. They win it 3-2 and take the match. Pro Volleyball Federation action on Roku continues April 8th when we head to San Diego, where the Vibe visits the Mojo for Holly McPeak and our entire fantastic crew on Paul Sunderland. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night wherever you may be.